So anyway, Oregon lost its election, Arizona lost its election, and now you have entire counties trying to move to another state because of poor leadership. Not surprising, but, well, that transitions very well into my next topic and technically an announcement. I saw this question on Twitter yesterday. What technology do you trust people with poor physical and spiritual fitness to control? And my immediate answer before I even started typing was none. None. An individual who has poor physical and poor spiritual fitness does not need to have access to the levers of power for our entire society. Period. If you lack the self-discipline and the ability to delay instant gratification for the preference of long-term goals, if you can't see the big picture, and you can't even see those things for yourself to ensure that you have healthy physical and mental health, why on earth would we elect you to try to achieve all these different factors of health for all of us when you can't do it for one person? The most important person in your life. You should be your first priority because you can't serve anybody else until you serve yourself. This is why you put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you go and help other people. It's a very basic concept, but you know what I'm talking about. You're on an airplane, the stewardess gets up there. In the event that we experience turbulence, blah, 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 put the oxygen mask on your face before you go put it on your baby and your grandma and all that crap. Okay? So, in light of the sheer amount of chaos in our country and the obvious lack of capable leaders in the physical realm, in the spiritual realm, I decided that I should just nominate myself as the president of the patriarchal Liftacrocy that we need to establish in America, which would be a Christian American first agenda. And that's what we talk about on this platform. Red Pill Fitness and Beholden to Truth. We talk about the importance of lifting or being physically fit, and that those who do understand that should be elevated to the decision makers in society. We understand the basics, we understand the big picture, we understand longevity, and our compasses are set in the right place. They're set on Jesus Christ and a Christian nation. So there's my announcement. That's what I'm running for. That's going to be the office that I establish, president of the Patriarchal Liftocracy. That's the future. So if you'd like to support, continue watching my show. We are going to be the face of change in this nation, along with our friends, our groypers at America First, Nick Fuentes' crew, Nick J. Fuentes' crew. United, we can actually fix this thing. Okay. I think this is the last news story we're going to hit this morning, and then maybe we'll take a swing through Twitter, just because I didn't really go through any Twitter news. I just pulled up the post that I flagged while I was handling my business this morning before I got on the stream. So I saw this one here. Some millennial is saying, stop saying start a family when you mean have kids. A couple is still a family. A single person and her cat is a family. A couple and their plants are still a family. 3 weirdly close roommates could be a family. You don't need kids to be a family. Gentlemen, how do we feel about that? How do we feel about that? Because I know your temptation is kind of like, well, what about my bros, What about my homies sitting on the stream, in the chat, my groypers, all that stuff? You guys are my family, right? We're fam. We're F-A-M. There's a difference between fam and family. Your family is your blood. It's your last name. It's your lineage. It's your children, your future grandchildren, your wife, trad wife. And your pets. We can include your pets if you'd like to say, but in my opinion, look, and this is coming from somebody who, where's my dog? He's I can hear him snoring somewhere in the room. I want you to see, maybe we can jump over to the pug cam. Is he on camera right now? Hold on, let's see. Let's find out. Oh, nope, he's not. You can see the camera on the left there. That's my couch. He sits behind me. He must be sleeping on the floor. But yeah, I love my dog. I've had him 4.5 years, and he's the only thing I have. I don't have any kids. I haven't met my future wife yet. And so I get the temptation to say, this is my family. Truly, I really do. My dog is like my whole life. He's the light of my life. However, my dog cannot pass on my beliefs and my last name's heritage after I'm gone. My dog cannot protect this country from the far left's ideology of there not being such a thing as men and women, believing that children should be engaged in sexual activities, believing that there's no consequence to using any and all drugs, believing that there's not even a difference between the races of people. You know, all of these postmodern beliefs that we know are just not true when you look at the entire body of human evidence, the rise and fall of nations. That's why family exists. Bloodlines exist for a reason. And so, I actually heard this a while back, a pretty interesting take on how we got here. Like, families used to be important in America. For like 200 years, they were very important. But something changed kind of towards the 90s. I mean, we talk about women's liberation, and that being a significant reason why we got here. It's one of the largest slices of the equation. But another one, a smaller piece, but certainly relevant. And this one fooled me. I'll say, guys, fucking Satan. He's extremely intelligent. He knows our weaknesses. If you'll recall, in the 1990s, a hit sitcom, Friends. I'll be there for you. Na 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 na. Fucking Phoebe. Chandler, Ross, Monica, Rachel, New York City. We don't need a family. We can just live in the city and sleep with somebody new every week. It's awesome. Ha 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 ha. Laugh track. Phoebe's so quirky. And Joey is such a stereotypical meathead. I'm making fun of it now and I'm being sarcastic. And the truth is, if I sit down and watch an episode of Friends, it's written very well. It's very funny. Written by the Kaufmans. But what happened here is that you actually did have an entire generation, my generation, looking at these individuals as role models, as actually creating the blueprint for how they wanted their 20s and their 30s to go, based on Friends, based on Phoebe and Chandler and Ross and Rachel and Monica and Chandler. These people don't lead inspiring lives. Okay? That's not aspirational to date somebody new every month and continue to do so for years on end. It's not inspirational to only see your parents once a year on Thanksgiving, even though they live an hour away. It's not inspirational to not be involved in your nephew's and niece's life because you're more concentrated on your dating life or whatever. These people clearly cared more about their little small circle of friends than their actual families. And then they wondered why it seems to be so difficult to find that long-term partner to actually settle down and have a family with. It's like, well, whatever you water is going to grow. That's true for every aspect of life. Okay. I think that's going to do it for the Instagram. Let's take a swing through Twitter.